This tutorial will encompass the creation and rotation of personal, group, and project access tokens in GitLab's UI, along with its usage with GitLab's API. First, let's create a personal access token. Navigate to the user's profile, create a personal access token with a maximum of 365 days and up to 400 days with the enablement of a feature flag. Select the API scope. We can copy this, put it somewhere safe to later utilize. Now we can use the GitLab API by navigating to the GitLab API page and selecting this call request. We can then modify the header of the private token and the domain name. We can now run this using any API testing tool like Postman, Insomnia, or just using your terminal with curl. Great. Next, we're going to rotate the personal access token in the UI by clicking this button. This should generate a new personal access token that we can now use and revoke the previous one. We can now go back to this API page, copy the scroll command, edit the header, and edit the domain name. We can now run this call request to confirm that it does rotate the personal access token. Next, we'll be repeating similar steps with the group access token. Navigate to your group. In order to access the access tokens menu in your group, you need to at least have a role of an owner. And the access token you create also needs to have a role of an owner, or else it will be unauthorized when you try to make an API call. Owner, API scope, create a group access token. Navigate to the group access token API page, run the scroll command. Modify the domain name and grab the group ID from the group's homepage over here, 254. We can then run this. Awesome. Now let's try to rotate it in the UI. Let's navigate back to the access tokens page, get to the group access token, and rotate it in the UI by hitting the button. We can now copy this token and reuse it as we please. Now to rotate this token with the API, navigate back to the API page, copy the curl command, update the header and the domain name, along with the group ID, which is 254. You can run this request and verify that it's been rotated. Next up will be project access tokens. Now, unlike group access tokens, you can have a role of a maintainer or an owner to be able to access project access tokens and create one. PRAT_1 maintainer API create. You can copy this and repeat the steps used to create group and personal access tokens. Now we can navigate to the project access token page and run these call commands. project ID can be accessed from the project page, which should be 31. Next, let's rotate the project access token on the UI by navigating back to the access tokens page. Click on the rotate button, copy the new project access token, and now we can utilize it with the GitLab API. Navigate back to the API page, copy this command. Remember the project ID was 31. Change the header to use the newly rotated token. Updates your domain name and run your new request. Awesome.